Your video did not fail. It was tested and then quietly rejected. Not because it was bad, but because YouTube did not understand what to do with it. That is the part almost nobody tells you, because from your side, everything can look right. You wrote a good script, you edited cleanly, you chose a strong title, people even watched, and yet the video still stopped growing. Not immediately, that is what makes it confusing. At first, it moves. A few clicks, a few impressions, maybe even a small spike. Then something strange happens, the graph flattens. No warning, no explanation, just silence. And in that moment, every creator asks the same question: what did I do wrong? But that question is built on a false assumption. It assumes YouTube is judging your video based on quality. It is not. YouTube is not asking, is this a good video? It is asking something far more specific. Can I predict how people will respond to this? And that changes everything, because now your video is no longer being judged by effort. It is being judged by behavior, not your behavior, but viewer behavior. When your video goes live, it does not get sent to the world. It gets sent to a very small group of people first, not random people, but a test group. And this group is not there to enjoy your video. They are there to teach YouTube something. Their behavior becomes data. Do they click? Do they stay? Do they watch a similar way? Do they react consistently? And this is where most videos break, because creators focus on better editing, better thumbnails, better storytelling. But YouTube is watching something else entirely: consistency of response. Let's make this simple. If 10 people see your video and 3 click, 2 leave early, 1 watches halfway, 4 ignore it, that is not just mixed performance. That is an unclear signal, and when the signal is unclear, YouTube cannot predict what will happen next. And if it cannot predict, it cannot scale. That is why your video slows down, not because it failed, but because it became unpredictable. This is the silent rule of the system. YouTube does not reward effort, it rewards predictability, because predictability reduces risk, and YouTube's job is not to promote content, it is to reduce risk at scale. Every time it shows a video to someone, it is making a decision. Am I confident this person will watch this? If the answer is unclear, it stops. That is what you are saying. That moment when your video stops getting impressions is not random. It is a decision based on early behavior patterns. And here is where it gets deeper. Most creators think, if I improve my content, I will get more views. But improvement does not fix inconsistency. You can improve editing, improve visuals, improve scripting, and still send mixed signals, because the problem is not quality, it is alignment between your title, your topic, your audience, and their expectations. If any of these are slightly off, the behavior becomes inconsistent, and inconsistent behavior leads to hesitation, and hesitation kills distribution. This is why you will see something frustrating: a simple video with average editing outperforming a well-produced one, because the simple video is clear: clear audience, clear expectation, clear response. It creates a pattern, and pattern are what YouTube trusts, not creativity, not effort, not complexity. Patterns. This is the shift happening right now. YouTube has moved from performance-based growth to pattern-based growth. Before, one good video could carry your channel. Now, that is not enough, because the system is not just looking at your video, it is looking at your behavior as a creator. What you post, what you attract, who you attract, how your audience reacts. And it is asking, is this channel predictable? If the answer is no, you don't scale. That is why your growth feels unstable. One video works, the next one drops, the next one is random. It is not random. It is inconsistent signaling. And every time you change your topic, shift your audience, try something new without direction, you reset the system. You force YouTube to start learning you again from zero. And that is why it feels like you are always starting over. Not because you are failing, but because you are not building a pattern. And without a pattern, there is no predictability. And without predictability, there's no scale. This is the real reason your views stopped. Not because your content is terrible. That's because your channel is not yet clear enough for YouTube to trust. And once you see this, everything changes, because now you stop asking, how do I make a better videos? How do I make better videos? And you start asking, what is my content teaching YouTube about my audience? That is the real game. And until you fix that, you will keep improving, keep posting, keep trying, and still feel stuck. But once you understand how this system actually works, you stop chasing growth. If YouTube is not judging your video by quality, then what is it actually measuring? Not views, not likes, not even retention in the way most people think. It is measuring behavior patterns over time. That is the part most creators completely misunderstand, because when people talk about the algorithm, they describe it like a machine reacting to numbers, click-through rates, watch time, average view duration. But that is not how the system actually operates anymore. Those are just surface metrics. Underneath, YouTube is building a profile of how people behave around your content, not just inside the video, around it. What they click before your video, what they watch after, how quickly they return, what type of content they consistently engaged with. And then it asks a very specific question. Where does this video belong in the viewer's behavior loop? Not, is this video good? Does this video fit into something predictable? Because YouTube is not just recommending videos, it is managing attention, and attention behaves in patterns. For example, someone who watches YouTube growth videos, analytics breakdowns, and AI content strategy does not behave the same way as someone who watches vlogs, entertainment, reaction videos. Different expectations, different patience levels, and different viewing habits. So when your video gets shown, it is not just being tested on performance, it is being tested on compatibility. Compatibility with a specific type of viewer behavior. And this is where most videos fail silently, because they attract the wrong mix of people. Make your videos connect. Most creators upload content. Strong creators build system. Each video should feel like a continuation. So when someone watches one, they naturally want another. Not because you told them to, because the thinking is not finished. That is how you increase session time, return viewers, channel authority. And that is how YouTube sees you, not as a video, but as a destination. Now bring this back to you. If your channel has been inconsistent, unpredictable, hard to grow, now you know why. It was never just about effort. It was never just about content. It was about alignment. Alignment between your audience, your structure, your signal, your depth. And once those align, you stop guessing. You stop chasing random improvements. You start building something that actually grows. Now, here is the part most people skip. They watch something like this, they understand it, they feel motivated, and then they go back to doing the same thing. That is why they stay stuck. So don't do that. Take the last 3 videos you posted, look at them honestly. Ask yourself, are they attracting the same type of viewer? Do they create consistent behavior? Do they build on each other or exist separately? If the answer is no, you don't need more effort, you need correction. That is your next move. And if this changed the way you see YouTube, don't just leave, because most channels talk about tips. This channel breaks down how the system actually works. So if you want to grow on YouTube without guessing, subscribe, and more importantly, go into the comment and tell me, what do you think is confusing YouTube about your content right now? Because once you identify that, you are already ahead of most creators, and that is where real growth begins. I will see you in the next one. Bye.